Hi, class. My name is Andrew Halverson. Welcome to the beginning of the session, the first week here. I want to kind of give you an overview of this week, the material that we're going to be covering. We're not going to go in depth here in this video, but we're going to kind of hit the high points and kind of also what I want to start off with is just refer you to the syllabus real quick just to go over some policies that you'll definitely want to be aware of. So first things first, one thing you see here on the page is you see various announcements here, and I do encourage you to review all that. Here's my contact information right here. Let's go ahead and check that out. And you'll see that I have my office hours, you know, the Tuesday of each week. This is my telephone number. It's my cell phone. You're free to text or call me anytime. And here's my email address as well for you too. Let's head over to the syllabus. Before I leave this, by the way, also I recommend the inbox here. That's actually where you can probably reach me best because I check in every day and I'll check the messages here for sure. Sometimes when it gets sent to email, Canvas is a little weird in the way it does email. So I don't want to miss your email. So if you do it by the inbox, that's the best way to get to me, just to kind of give you a heads up. Okay, so don't hesitate to reach out anytime. Let's go over to the syllabus because there is one. There are a couple notes here I want to make you aware of. The first thing is let's scroll down just a little bit here. And I want to take a note right here is that the minimum passing grade for our class is a 78%. I don't think this is too much of a surprise for students anymore, but I do like to make a note of it just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So 77, unfortunately, that's not enough. I have had students, unfortunately, who get the 77 and have to retake the class, and it's really not because of the material or the class itself. It's something popped up in the session and kind of diverted their attention. So you can easily attain the 78%. I think. When I look back at the history of the class, I've taught this class for quite a few years now. Almost everyone passes. So I'm supremely confident that you will not only pass the class, but I'm supremely confident that you'll do well, A or B, as well. And the Alex resource goes a long way towards that. Now, to that end, let's talk about the grade distribution you see right here. One thing to take note of is that the first three items, the discussion, the homework, and the quizzes, that's each and every week. So you're going to have each and every week, you're going to have a discussion forum. Each and every week, you're going to have a homework assignment. And each and every week, you're going to have a quiz to do on that week's material. And you'll see that that accounts for 60% of your grade. That's the bulk of everything. The exams here you'll see is 40%. That's really a midterm and a final, each of those worth 20%. Don't stress too much about those because the cool thing is about Alex is that, navigating through the Alex resource, you're building up mastery and you're preparing for these for these bigger exams, the midterm and the final. So from what I've seen of students and their performance is that by the time you get to the midterm or get to the final exam, you know it. So you don't have to, I don't think you're going to have to stress too much about this. It's really just the weekly tasks, the discussion, the homework, and the quiz. Stay on top of those, and you're going to be primed for success in the class for sure. Okay, those are the two things I wanted to mention straight away. The other thing is where are you going to where are you going to access Alex? Where are you going to access the homework and the quizzes? And so what you want to do is you want to come over here to modules, and let's see it load up. And we're going to scroll down here, and you'll see Alex right here. This link right here, LTIA Alex Access, that's the link that you will need in order to access Alex for the week. And then, so that'll lead you to your homework. I'm not going to click on it here because it doesn't really work well with my account. I don't have a student account. So, but click on that and you'll be led and transported over to Alex as well. And make sure that you're viewing the tutorial because Alex is a different resource, is a different program. If you haven't used it before, you do need the introduction, the orientation to it. So it's worth it for sure. The other thing is textbook. Where are you going to get your textbook? You notice over here there's no textbook. So what are you going to do? Well, so let's scroll down to week 1. So we're talking about whole numbers and operations. And here's week 1 readings. This is the link right here. College Mathematics textbook and table of contents. Let me go ahead and click on that, see what it looks like. Okay, so it'll load it in a new window for me. Let's see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work for me here. Okay, so it doesn't work for me there. So, uh, but it should work. Excuse me. It should work for you as well. Now, one thing to take note of. Excuse me. One thing to take note of. Hold on just a moment. One thing to take note of, and I'll go back to it now, is that you can access the textbook from within ALEKS as well. And I tend to find that that's probably an easier way. But that's, to each his own on that. But if this link here doesn't work for you, you can definitely access the textbook by way of ALEKS too, just to give you a heads up on that. Okay, so what are we doing in ALEKS here? You'll see, hold on just a moment. Sorry about that. So I had a little glitch there. So you'll see here, there's the lectures, and it's going to basically review the process for working with numbers. And that's really the strategy for the first half of the course, or the first few weeks for sure. You're going to learn the rules and relearn or be reintroduced to the rules for the operations on numbers: add, subtract, multiply, divide, whole numbers. Then you're going to do add, subtract, multiply, divide, decimals. Then you're going to do add, subtract, multiply, divide, fractions. That's sort of the intro, the first couple weeks. So to a large degree, you're already going to know the material for the first few weeks. Just maybe a little bit of practice here and there, things that you may not know, or maybe as familiar with as things like the number line, where you're going to have to graph numbers on the number line, maybe where you have to refresh your rules for rounding numbers. But this is daily mathematics that you use when you go to the grocery store, or when you're going to go buy some clothes at the at the mall, for those of you who still go to a mall. But this is sort of like daily routine, daily activity, sort of mathematics, stuff that you use in your everyday life. Now, certainly, I think everyone in the class is in the medical field, and numbers and whole numbers are used left and right. They abound within the medical field. I mean, think about taking blood pressure, 125/80. Think about taking a pulse, 75 beats per minute. What's the weight of someone? 146 pounds, things of that nature. So you're going to be inundated with numbers in your career in the medical field, and you're going to have to apply those operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And so that's what this week, this week and the next few weeks does for you, is build up that foundational experience. And I think you're going to find you are already a master of it. But what you're also going to review is this notion of the order of operations. If you have, you have to do multiple processes, multiple steps. Say you have addition and division. Which one do you do first? Suppose that you have parentheses and you have exponents. Which one do you first? Which one do you do second? So that's part of also what you're going to be learning, is you're going to be learning the order of operations to go along with all this, kind of building you up, building that foundation up as we work towards, working with formulas, working with metric units, working with equations. This week and next week for sure is going to just kind of get you in the mode of doing math. So I think you're going to do wonderful this week. I think you're going to find that the class is not so bad. I actually think you're going to find that the class is enjoyable, and it is. I get, my experience with the classes, students tend to do enjoy it. So this week's material is just a review of the operations on numbers, and you're going to work with whole numbers, no decimals, no fractions. It's just really whole numbers. And hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Use that inbox over here to send me a message or send me a text. I invite you to reach out that way as well. Hope you have a great week. Look forward to seeing you in the discussion board, and look forward to the next 12 weeks with you all. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.